a super fast clear. So we put 2 double coats of that on, and we'll let that dry, and we'll be done.
It's really good seeing the car, getting some color on it now, that we're moving forward, and can't wait to start putting all those new shiny parts back on it.
This is one of those times when seeing red does not mean you're angry.
This is Chop Cut Rebuild. Presented by Classic Industries, America's first choice in restoration and performance parts.
Well, here it is, fresh out of the paint booth. And a terrific job. And we're not hiding the car with this plastic. Actually, it has a pretty important function. The idea is that we have to keep this part clean, because back here, the guys from 3M have jumped in the moment it arrived here and started cutting and buffing, right, Felipe?
How you doing, Dan?
Good. So what have you done already here?
We already sanded with 1000 DA film, okay, to remove some of the imperfections. My name is Felipe Contreras, and I work for 3M. I've been with 3M for the last 2 years. My supervisor at 3M got a call from Craig, and he wanted me to come and assist him with this 56 Chevrolet.
All right, Felipe, what do we have?
We got a 1500 clear coat film.
That's the next step?
This is gonna be our next step. Then it's gonna be followed by a 3000 Trizac foam disc. And we're gonna finish with a new 5000 Trizac foam.
Felipe showed up from 3M, and he was going to color sand and buff the car out. There's several steps in just the color sanding process.
First step, we started sanding the car with 1000 DA film to remove all the orange peel and any imperfections on the paint finish. Then it was followed by 1500 Trizac clear coat film. Okay, like I said, this is a damp system, so we're gonna need a little bit of water.
Okay.
So just spray a little bit of water on the surface.
Felipe and I thought it would be more efficient if we broke the job into different areas of responsibility. I volunteered for water and wiping, and I think I did a pretty good job of it too.
Dan,
Squeegee your cloth.
it's up to you. Whatever you wanna use. Then we did 2 more steps with 3000 DA Trizac, and we finished it with 5000 Trizac foam film.
Okay, Felipe, this is the stuff you wanted?
That is the stuff I wanted, Dan.
Okay. This is buffing now.
We're going on to the polishing step.
Okay, oh, you call it polishing, not buffing.
Number 1 step is a compound. That is to remove sand scratches and give you a high gloss, followed by our perfected machine polish to bring the finish to a high gloss and remove any buffing marks or swirl marks. And then we finish with our ultra-fine blue foam.
Blue pad,
Blue cap.
blue cap. There's a whole system to this.
One final step.
The trunk that Felipe worked on today came out beautiful. You can see depth in it. There's a mirror finish. While Felipe was just finishing up the trunk lid, we started installing the hush mat.
Look at you guys. Go away to get coffees, and you've got this thing half done already.
Yep.
There must be some sort of deadline coming up.
It's a SEMA show. The hush mat is a good barrier between the steel floor and the carpet. It cuts down on road vibrations, noise, and especially heat from the exhaust coming up through the floorboards.
After we finished installing our hush mat, then we installed our Odyssey batteries.
All right, Craig, you've been the silent master all season, and this is your bailiwick, right? Wiring.
Yes, sir.
Is it really painless?
Could be a little less painless, but it is a lot easier.
Once the Odyssey batteries were mounted down to the spot that we picked out for them, then we installed our automatic cutoff, which has a switch hidden under the dash. We're gonna be ready for SEMA, whether it takes 2 weeks of late nights or not.
This dash has really got a lot of stuff going on behind it. Extremely. So you got the Dakota Digital box, you've got the GM engine harness here and transmission harness, you've got the fuse block, you've got the vintage air heater in there. It's a good thing you put a kill switch in this thing. Someone would steal it just for the copper. Hey, good morning.
Morning, how are you?
Good, look at this. You got all the bright work here. It's amazing.
Yeah, this is about a little over half with the stainless.
You look tired, man. Have you been like burning the midnight oil on this car?
It's been some late nights.
It's looking great, and this stuff looks wonderful.
When Dan arrived, we were working on the side molding and audio system.
All right, so what can I help you with?
Well, it'll be a while on this. I gotta unwrap this stuff, but Chris with Retro Sound
Okay.
can help him out.
All right, love doing audio. Morning. I'm good. Chris, nice to see you.
Seeing you.
So what did you bring us?
Well, I brought us a pair of subwoofers for the back end, the bass. Brought two pair of component speakers for the full range in the front.
Are these new?
They are a new product for us.
That's great. They look nice and really light.
They're made to be put into small places.
Okay.
Also brought a power base amplifier to drive them and one of our new Zuma radios.
All right. Well, now the upholstery's not in yet, so is that a problem or is that actually a good thing?
Actually, it's better because we do finish off the wiring. We get about 85% of the product in right now.
Okay. And you got all the wiring taken care of already, right?
As far as what he needs, yeah.
Okay, good. So what are we going to put in first?
I'm going to start with the radio. My name is Chris Peterson, and I'm the R&D manager at Retro Manufacturing. I learned about this project from Classic Industries. They approached us on a build they were working on and wanted to see if we wanted to participate with a sound system for it.
There's not many audio companies servicing the vintage market and doing it well. And by well, I mean without cutting your dash.
All right, so head units in. Yep. We got to start running wires now, I guess, right? Correct. Okay.
Chris went ahead and installed the kick panel speakers into the plates that I made that hold the small 6-inch speaker and the tweeter.
We installed the front speakers and ran the wiring back. On the front speakers, we installed a set of 6.5-inch component speakers. So we installed a set of tweeters, a set of 6.5-inch mid-range speakers, and a set of crossovers to make them run properly.
Is that it?
That's all.
So that's all of the front audio
Yes.
installed. And what happens to those now?
They're going to be covered by kick panels.
Kick panels, okay. And that wiring's going to take us down here, and we have speakers that are going to go here and subwoofers. And hey, there's a familiar face.
Hey,
How are you, Wanda?
good, Dan. How are you?
Good. Nice to see you.
You too.
So what have you got Wanda here for?
He's gonna make the front kick panels now.
Like the timing's perfect.
Let's
Wanda.
go. My name is Wanda Wells. I'm the former owner of the business Wanda's Auto Upholstery.
Wanda's a familiar face around these parts. He's created the interior for some of our best projects.
On the doors, we just want to make sure that the aftermarket doors from 2 different companies are all lined up.
We were fortunate enough to use Wanda on this car. We got him out of retirement to do a few things, help us out on the kick panels, and he'll do the carpet for us and do the armrest bases. So we were fortunate enough to have him.
Somebody ordered boom service? Subwoofers, right?
Yes, sir. We moved to the trunk of the vehicle and we installed 2 subwoofers, one on either side.
These popular retro sound subwoofers push out 100 watts from a sleek, low-profile 8-inch subspeaker. More than enough oomph for our needs.
After Dan and Chris were done with the stereo and listening to how it sounds, we moved on to the side molding.
So this is called bright work.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know why they sent me over to help you with it then.
Whenever I do stainless, I like to tape it off so your hands and your fingers don't scratch the polished surface. Most people probably wouldn't even go this far, but I don't want to have to repolish the moldings or repolish the car, paint the car. I'm pretty happy with the progress today. We've got the audio in, and with some side molding on there, we're coming along.
You know, it's a pretty basic rule, but an important one that Craig reminded us of. When something's important, always protect it with tape.
This is Chop Cut Rebuild. Presented by Classic Industries, America's first choice in restoration and performance parts.
When the Classic team makes a commitment, they go all the way. They're not just nicknaming their Bel Air project the Open Air, they're going to badge it that way. Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning, man.
This must be Steve.
Yes, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So, you're going to build a custom one-off badging kit for us, right?
Correct.
Nice. So, how do you start this process?
Well, we start off with an original emblem that you guys would like to modify or change.
Mm-hmm.
My name's Steve Smart. I'm the owner and designer of Billet Badges Incorporated. Craig contacted me about a SEMA project that they're working on, and they wanted to create an open air custom emblem for their Bel Air.
All right, so what's the first thing you do?
Well, we start off with scanning in the part. So then I'll go in here and I'll trace over the center lines of each letter. So then I'll bring this file into my CAD system So what we'll do is we'll bring this in and then start using that center line to trace and form each letter.
Okay. So you've got your basic design, and then you turn this into a file that the CAD machine can understand?
Correct.
The extensive facilities at Billet Badges handle far more than nameplates, but the badge business is the up-and-comer now.
Dan, this is my partner August.
Hey, August, how are you?
How you doing, Dan?
Good. So they keep you here at the back of the factory?
Yes, they do.
So what do you make at the back of the factory?
We make badges. Steve and I have a very symbiotic relationship. He will do a lot of the design work and a lot of the CAD work, and from there, he will send it off over to me, and I will take it and turn it into CAM work.
So what happens to that plate?
From here, we actually will put it in the machine, bolt it down to allow us to machine the actual part. I usually input it into the machine, whereas this time, I actually had Dan hit the start button. I usually hit the start button. Is it ready for data? Yeah. You're good.
Okay.
That's it. The white stuff that you see in the pictures is what we call coolant. Its main job is to cool the tool, and if that lubrication is not there, you have catastrophic failure and you have to start all over again.
The material used to make these badges is so light it doesn't take much more than a dentist-style drill to cut out the designs and patterns. But the bits move at such a high speed that they can burn out very fast, so keeping them cool is critical.
We can actually remove the part from the machine, clean it off, inspect it to make sure it's what we want, and then start polishing it.
That's beautiful. What do you think, guys?
It's a beautiful design, but still a few steps from being a beautiful badge.
Dan, this is Enrique.
Hey, good. So you're gonna pop this out of this plate for us, right?
That's right. Once the part is completed on the machine, it's removed and then taken over to our finishing area, where my finishing guys will take care of all the sanding, filing, polishing.
The CNC lathe cuts the design so close to the bottom of the plate, a box cutter blade or jeweler's file is all they need to break the work free.
All right.
That's the whole thing?
Finished.
Okay, so what happens now?
Now the next process is the polishing process.
Once it's sanded smooth, then it's ready for polishing. So we'll move over to the polishing area to polish the part and give it a nice mirror finish. And then we'll take it over and apply the 3M VHP adhesive.
Going through the process with Steve at Billet Badges was just an amazing thing to see. We're extremely pleased with how they turned out. They look just like it was a GM-made emblem.
All right, so that adhesive is what holds it to the car. You don't need the little tips anymore, right?
No.
Okay, so what do you think?
I don't know, let's take a look.
That's the original? I'd say that's pretty much dead on.
Yes, sir, looks good.
Nice job. And it goes in the Hall of Fame with these other great logos. Hey, George, you got the carpet?
Hey, Dan. Just in time.
Okay.
I'm just about to install the carpet in.
All right.
My name is George. I'm a professional trimmer for Wanda's Auto Upholstery. And,
You want a hand with that?
yeah.
Okay.
Some of these.
Oh, I will? Oh, those are big.
Dan is a character. I like working with him.
No running with the scissors. Okay. You want me to take,
Okay, that's the front side.
this is front?
This morning, I started by installing the carpet. It's an aftermarket carpet that's been molded to fit the floor of a 56 Chevy Bel Air. First, I had to test fit it, and once I made sure everything was okay, then I went on and glued it.
George has been mentored by one of the best of the business. Not the guy in the blue shirt, I mean Wanda. A lifetime of award-winning upholstery skills are being handed down, and George knows he's the benefactor of some outstanding experience.
So you're Nick from Cars Inc.
Yep.
And you brought these.
Yeah, these are the door panels for the 56.
Beautiful.
We brought today for the 56 convertible all the interior panels. We've done the doors, quarter trim panels, and the seat covers, especially made for the glide seat that we've used for this vehicle. To install the trim, we take the panel, we find our holes that are already pre-punched in the cardboard back panel. We poke through with a awl or some sort of sharp object so we can locate our hole from the front side. We take our stainless trim, we bend the tabs out, we push them through, and we simply just bend them back over the other side, and that securely attaches them to the panel.
Get them all ready. I'll see what they're doing with the carpet.
Okay.
Once I glued the carpet down, I made sure I trimmed around the edges for the kick panels and step rails and the back quarter panels.
George, they told me to bring you this stuff over. This is, what, kick panels?
Yes,
And
I need to put this in.
what's this called, the windlace?
Yes, this is the windlace and the rail.
Okay.
Slides into the rail.
Details, small and large, they all need to be addressed.
All right, so that's done and that's out of the way. That's good, so we can move on to the next step. All right. They look great.
I think Wanda and George did an excellent job. I'm real happy with their work, and I'm glad they were available to help us on our car.
Oh, hey, Craig. Wanda!
Hey, Dan.
All right, oh, this is our tonneau?
Yeah, this is our tonneau cover.
Here, I'll give you.
I've did several cars for the plastic industry, and so I work with Dan on other occasions, so I've gotten used to things that he can do.
There's a list. It's not as long as the things I can't do.
Are we all done?
Yep, everything's all complete.
Beautiful. All of your panels?
Yep,
All
we got
the
the
trim?
doors, the quarter trim panels, the rear armrests. We've been making reproduction interiors for the 55 to 7 Chevys initially, and we still continue to make them off the original GM patterns using reproduction materials that we have made exclusively for us.
All right, so what do we take over first then? These, I guess, right?
Yeah, we're going to take the quarter trim panels over first, and then the rear armrest spaces.
The main challenge was, getting the windlace all installed properly so it would fit right, and the panels were going right. The quarter panel itself is aftermarket, so it didn't quite have the exact curve that we needed to bolt in place. So we had to do some modification, do a little beating on that to get it to go in place, but we got it in place.
Is that it?
That's it.
Wow, Wanda, for a young guy, you're pretty experienced at this.
Yep.
Craig, I have the solution to all your seatbelt needs.
Okie dokie.
All of them.
The assortment from Retrobelt is very impressive, from material choices to latch types.
Very productive day. It's coming together. When you can smell the carpet glue in the air, it feels good. Interior's going in, and we're heading to SEMA.
Now, apparently back in 1956, you did not have to request an exit row in order to get more legroom.
This is Chop Cut Rebuild. Presented by Classic Industries, America's first choice in restoration and performance parts.
Oh my, the restoration elves have been hard at work overnight, haven't they?
Sure have.
Morning, Edgar.
Hey, Dan.
So, what's going on?
Well, Edgar's finishing up the heater hoses for the vintage air unit.
Uh-huh.
And then we've got our brake lines done and wheel wood master in.
Okay, terrific. Yeah, so you got the wheels on, you've got the calipers there now?
Yep, they're all done.
Very
Brakes are
nice.
bled. Craig's working on the wiring, finishing that up.
Hey, Jersey.
How you doing, Dan?
Good. That looks beautiful. The Dakota Digital's in there. And this is the Flaming River tilt.
Tilt column, column shift, yeah.
And is it keyed?
No, it's got a push button. We're putting it in the stock location.
Very classy, very classy. What's happening at the back?
On the back here, you might remember this guy, Curly.
Yes, I do. Hey, Curly, how are you? Good to see you.
Hey, Dan. Good to see you again, too.
You brought all your pinstriping tools and skills with you, I think?
Absolutely. All my brushes and paint.
Excellent.
My name is Jaime with Curly's Pinstriping. The car's gorgeous. It's got a nice color combination, beautiful finish, and it's a perfect car to work on.
So what are you going to do? What are you going to pinstripe on the car?
Hopefully when there's a break in the action, I can add a nice little orange accent around the side of the molding.
Okay. And what are we doing back here? A little artwork, a little design?
Yeah, we might add a little accent back here.
You know what I was thinking would look nice back here is maybe, a little above the emblem here, maybe Chop Cut Rebuild or something like that.
Funny how people just seem to move on when I bring up stuff like that. Plus, Curly's far too professional to accept my bribes.
All right, what do we have here?
We've got the engine cover.
Okay. So this used to have a Cadillac logo on it, right?
Correct. It's been modified and customized and given a factory look.
Wow. Craig did this. It's a nice job. All right, so what does he want you to do?
Now the idea is to add a little bit of orange to the engine compartment, so we're gonna add a pinstripe to outline the little body curve it's got. For the pinstriping, we did a bright orange color. We used the one-shot enamel, and I used a sword pinstriping brush. One of the main features of the engine is the engine cover. It's been customized, and we accented it with orange pinstripe. It was a tricky job to get it done right, but I was able to lay it down and get it done on the first shot.
Wow, Curly, that is really, really nice. Beautiful
Great,
job.
thank you, thank you.
The guys gave me these to
cool.
give to you.
On the radiator cap, we added a bright orange to bring out the logo, and then we also color matched the background to the gray of the wheels. So a nice little accent.
Okay, so here are the pedals, right?
Yep. The throttle pedal we originally had mocked up with a Locar was a drive-by-wire pedal, and it had a lot more travel than the factory GM one. So what Locar did is they took the GM pedal and made a really cool billet aluminum pedal for it. It looks really nice, and so we ended up going that route.
So this is the wheel we're going to use?
Yep, that's the one.
What happened to it? You washed it in hot water?
Yeah, that one. This one shrunk on us.
This is an original 56?
That's original, right.
Right. So what is this?
This one is a reproduction of that, but just smaller. We went ahead and went with a smaller version of the factory style 56 steering wheel. Just, you know, for a little more leg room, a little more comfort.
Now, Curly, I guess the hardest thing for you isn't really doing the pinstriping, it's being able to keep people away from the car long enough so you can do the pinstriping, right?
Yep, that's always an issue.
Getting time alone with the car when it's so close to the deadline and completion is a challenge, but even our crew has to eat. So lunchtime for us means Curly can finally bite into his work.
I think overall the project's coming together really nice. The pinstriping is just a nice little accent, not too much, and I think it's gonna give it the finishing touch.
This is it, huh? We're down to 3?
Two and a half.
Where is everybody?
They're on the way to Vegas.
Really? Okay, so if it doesn't go, then it's just our fault.
Yeah, I think it was our fault all along.
Okay.
I feel pretty good. I'm a little tired. I think I've had about 8 hours sleep in the past 2 days, and not much sleep before that either. But even if I'm not physically working on the car, I'm still thinking about what parts we need to get, what still is left to be done on the car. So there's a handful of things that we still have to get done to make it to SEMA.
What are you doing?
Just doing some little things here and there. Spectra sent this over to us overnight for our airflow sensor.
Very nice.
And we got a couple little wiring to hook up, and then maybe we can fire it here in the next hour or so.
We're close?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything I can help you with? I see there's, well, no front seat, there's wires dangling on the back. Anything else? We obviously have no hood on.
No. The hood was the last of all the body panels to go on. We noticed that once we had tightened all the front fenders and all the grill and everything, the front end kind of tightened up a little. So when we closed the hood, the gap got tight in the corners. So we just had to loosen some of that up and push it over and retighten all the bolts up.
Nothing really ever goes smoothly at this point. If anything's gonna go wrong, it's gonna go wrong now. And we just gotta take our lumps and get the car rolling.
Every piece of this car has been fit and removed at some point, but not every part was on simultaneously. This is when problems don't just appear. This is when the solution to a problem can set you 5 or 6 stages backward.
I had Dan bring over the 5-gallon bucket of the Be Cool Super Duty antifreeze. You know, he needed to do some working out. Brought that thing over and we were able to pour some of that into Be Cool's radiator. It's what they recommend. You pour it the other way, it won't slosh.
If I come at it from this way, let the air in. It doesn't slosh, you're right. Old dog, meet new trick. Usually, these guys release the pressure of the final hours by giving me the wrong kind of advice. Instead, they've taken the high road. Yeah, it's classy, but then again, they might just be too tired to think of some way to punk me. We'll never know now.
Last 12 hours, we've gone through putting some of the leading bright work for the front end on, which is, you know, the most important parts. Initially, you see that first. And really just trying to get the car ship shape and squared away.
All right, and here's our beautifully pinstriped engine cover.
So we have our emblems from Billet badges.
Wow, did that ever turn out nice?
I wanted the open air emblem to kind of look proportionate and centered on the engine cover. So I just kind of found a nice flat spot where when the adhesive is on there, when it sticks down, it's not, you know, coming up on a curve or anything. So just found the center of the V and then the center of the emblem, and I put some 2-inch tape down as a straight line and peeled the adhesive backing off and stuck it on the engine cover.
You know, it's a great testament to see how detail-oriented these guys really are. With only hours to go, they won't compromise. Everything done is being done right, not just right now.
The biggest challenge initially is going to be getting that motor fired up. You know, to get it fired up, make sure all the fluids are flowing right, and just to make sure everything functions the way it should.
I feel okay right now. I know I'll feel a lot better tomorrow afternoon, but it's looking good. I think when it gets to SEMA, people are really going to be excited and impressed the way it turned out.
First thing tomorrow morning, a transport truck will be arriving to take that car to Las Vegas. One thing I can assure you is between now and then, there won't be a lot of sleep going on. This is Chop Cut Rebuild. Presented by Classic Industries, America's first choice in restoration and performance parts. The busiest day at SEMA is always the first one. It's an overload of information, realization, and introductions. New products, new companies, new concepts, new techniques. It's hard to know where to begin, or where you're supposed to be, and at what time. But we made it, and we're ready to reveal. Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for coming by. We appreciate it, and welcome to Classic Industries booth and the unveiling of this year's Chop Cut Rebuild special project that we've done with Classic. This is a great project, and the number of hours that were put in by the Classic team was amazing. So ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to show you not our Bel Air, but Classic Industries